Hello, and welcome to the Career Compass program, which includes online learning sessions, podcasts, videos, webinars, white papers, and whiteboard videos, all specifically designed for NAVFAC. Please check the Career Compass Resource Center, or CCRC, often for updates and new content to support your learning. This content will assist with learning and development within the 20 non-technical competencies outlined in the Workforce Development Strategy. Today's topic is Tactics for Mediation in support of the Conflict Management competency. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you needed to help resolve a conflict between your employees or other coworkers? Or have you been in conflict with someone and needed some guidance on the way forward? We are going to share the steps to mediate a conflict. Before we discuss those steps, let's talk about what mediation is and why it can be helpful. Mediation is a way of resolving disputes with a neutral facilitator. It can help to ease tensions before they escalate to the point of no return. In contrast to arbitration, with mediation, the facilitator does not make any decision to solve the conflict, but rather helps the involved parties come to a decision. You can use mediation at any point during a conflict, as long as the involved parties agree to do so. Mediation is an effective option for disputes where there is a breakdown in communication between parties. Mediation is not a suitable option for cases where there are allegations of harassment, discrimination, or bullying. Those issues need to be escalated to a more formal procedure and will require intervention from human resources. Now that you know why and when to use mediation, let's discuss the steps you can follow to mediate successfully. Step 1. Conduct an introductory meeting with the involved parties. In this meeting, you will establish the ground rules and explain how the mediation process will work. In this step, you will need to get buy-in from the participants. They need to be willing and open-minded to try mediation. If they are not, it will not work. Ground rules can be individualized to your situation, but one thing you should always stress is that all mediation sessions are strictly confidential unless otherwise agreed upon. This is something you should remind participants of often. The more they understand this, the more comfortable they will be willing to share their thoughts and feelings. Step 2. Hold individual meetings with each party. Get each person's side of the story first. They will feel free to speak more openly at this stage. Use active listening skills and ask open-ended, non-judgmental questions to draw out the details of when and why the conflict started. Make sure to have these meetings in a private location away from the rest of the team. Find out what each person would like to gain from the mediation process. Step 3. Meet with the involved parties together. You may want to wait a few days between the individual meetings and the joint meeting so that everyone has time to process their thoughts first. Once you meet together, remind participants of the ground rules. Allow each participant to express themselves, ensuring that the overall tone remains positive. If the tone becomes too contentious, try to de-escalate the situation and bring the conversation back to the issue at hand. Encourage each party to see the situation from the other's point of view. Step 4. Brainstorm possible solutions. Once everyone has had a chance to express themselves, it's time to analyze what has been said. Summarize everyone's point of view and then brainstorm possible solutions together. Again, at this point, encourage everyone to be creative and come up with ideas that would be a win-win for everyone. Put all options on the table. Step 5. Agree on a solution. Discuss each suggested solution and try to focus on those that would work for both parties. This may require more than one meeting. This is the trickiest step, and keep in mind that you may not always get here, but ideally, the participants will agree to one of the suggested solutions. Once they do, you may want to document what the participants agreed to in a formal agreement and have them sign it. Make sure they understand exactly what is expected of them. Close the meeting and, if possible, have the parties shake hands and thank each other for working to resolve the conflict. Consider checking in after the process to make sure that the parties have followed through with their commitments. To review, The steps for mediation are: Step 1. Conduct an introductory meeting with the involved parties. Step 2. Hold individual meetings with each party. Step 3. Meet with the involved parties together. Step 4. Brainstorm possible solutions. Step 5. Agree on a solution. Next time you are faced with a conflict, evaluate whether mediation is appropriate, and if it is, try these 5 steps. You can even try using some of these tactics in your personal life or to try to mitigate conflict between yourself and others. Thank you for viewing this video. We hope that you gleaned useful and helpful information. If you have any questions, please contact your local civilian training advocate or contact HQ's BD17 at NAVFAC HQ Total Force Development at Navy.mil.